Well, there is a political storm in Caribbean right now, and all the eyes they're on Trinidad and Tobago. Why? Because this small island nation has just taken a bold stance against the US-led blockade of Venezuela, sparking diplomatic shockwaves across the entire region. You're watching TimesXP. My name is Yatri, and Trinidad says no to the US blockade pressure. Their Prime Minister, Kamala Prasad Basesa, she has made it very clear that Trinidad comes first. The island will not actively participate in stopping Venezuelan ships, even as the US presses for regional support. Trinidad allows US logistics like personal rotation and resupply at its airports, but insists that this is not as same as joining the blockade. Now think about that. Trinidad is walking a very tightrope, keeping relationships with the US while protecting its own energy and economic interests. Do you know why this matters? Well, Trinidad sits just 11 miles from Venezuela's coast, making it extremely vulnerable at any regional conflict. The island, it relies on Venezuelan gas contracts just to keep its power plant running and industries active. If it fully joined the blockade, then it could lose crucial energy supplies. If it refuses, then it risks US frustration and possible secondary sanctions as well. Well, this is a high-stakes balancing act. Venezuela fumes. Yes, their vice president, Delcy Rodriguez, she didn't hold back either. She accused Trinidad of turning into a US aircraft carrier aimed at attacking Venezuela. But Trinidad says that we are neutral, we are protecting our sovereignty. Well, we can say small island, big pressure. Trinidad is a classic small island developing state, limited power but strategically located. Being caught between the US, Venezuela and global trade network, it puts incredible pressure on the nation. Also, economic survival is the key. Losing access to Venezuelan gas, it could cripple industries and power supply, but it is also risking the United States, but antagonizing the US could cut off investment and global financial access. Then comes international law complications here. Under the UN Convention of the Law of the Sea, Trinidad has all the rights over territorial waters up to 12 miles over there. But the US military operations in nearby international waters, it complicates enforcement here, creating a gray zone where commercial shipping and energy transport, they are under constant threat. Well, Trinidad's position, it is a key highlight. Well, Trinidad's position highlights a key reality here. Small nations have limited options when major powers flex military muscles near their borders. Now let's talk about the economic stakes here. Gas shortage and offshore field. Trinidad is facing a gas crunch. Domestic production is declining and Venezuelan contracts, they are now under threat. Nearby offshore gas fields, it holds about 4.3 trillion cubic feet of potential reserves, but any development requires stable relationship with Venezuela, and Trinidad cannot risk US sanctions or any military conflict. You know why this is a regional flashpoint? Trinidad's decision, it is not just about energy, it's about sovereignty, survival, and independence. It shows how small islands can resist pressure from superpowers even in a world dominated by greater power competition. As Caribbean nations, they watch closely, one thing is very clear. Trinidad's bold neutrality could reshape energy security and diplomacy across the entire region. In the end, ladies and gentlemen, Trinidad refuses to join the US blockade of Venezuela, allows logistics support but maintain neutrality here, faces pressure from both the US and Venezuela, and energy security, offshore gas and economic survival that are on the same line. Well, the Caribbean is now a chessboard for superpowers, and Trinidad, well, they just made a bold move.